Hello Hearthstoners, and welcome back to another exciting adventure with Jester. This time we're going to be playing versus Miracle Rogue. I played this one after a Hunter, which I already have a video of up, so I didn't need it, and a Druid, which well, he conceded before we got to the fun part, so it wasn't even worth keeping the recording. Both of which were wins, so you can tell by looking at the rank here, and the time differential that what I'm saying is correct. And here we are with the Miracle Rogue. I'm narrating it after the fact, but that's because my video processing software is a little long. So we put back everything that isn't the low-cost options available. And this could have been Aggro Rogue at this point. I didn't really care. The fact is that the casting cost of these lower level minions means that we have more options available during the early game, and more options means more versatility in what you can and can't do versus your opponent, and will put you in better position for the mid game and the end game. So we coin out the Armor Smith. Having a second Armor Smith was an interesting proposition here, and I did want to drop it just on the grounds that I was getting more armor worth out of every point of damage that he would deal. Because against Miracle Rogue, again, they can only push so much damage. Sometimes you can force them to fatigue just based on the fact that they don't have enough damage in the deck to keep up with your armor. But he happens to have a Shiv, and hitting with the Deadly Poison Dagger to take out one of my Armor Smiths, and lower the amount of armor I'm getting from my Smith. So it turned out not to be a great play. I dropped the Acolyte here, hoping that he would use his dagger on the Acolyte, just cycling the card for me for the most part, and leave my Armor Smith alone. However, he had other plans. A second Shiv hits my Armor Smith, followed by the second charge of the dagger, and now I have to look at the match against Miracle Rogue knowing that the only armor I have available is through shield blocks and armoring up. This means that I'm going to have to apply some pressure. So, we Taskmaster our Acolyte, make a little bit of damage, go to the face, and if we can pressure him into believing that he's in danger of dying, then he's going to be using eviscerates and things of that nature against my minions instead of against me. And that'll somewhat make up for the lack of armor I have now from spending the two armor smiths early. Gadget Zan Auctioneer. Now, the moment you see the Gadget Zan, you don't want to overreact. But once you see the Gadget Zan and they conceal him, they're looking to do something big next turn. That's what you hold Loatheb for. There's a preparation. There's a conceal. Alright, now if I drop Loatheb, he's going to be very upset. It's virtually a Magic the Gathering time walk at that point. So we drop Loatheb. And sure enough, he threatens me. We go more to the face. Apply more pressure. We're going to force him to deal with the minions at this point. So that damage that he was planning on sending my way to soften me up for the Miracle Strike, he now has to send at my minions. He gives me an Unstable Ghoul from hitting the Acolyte, and the Unstable Ghoul is another great way to stop Miracle Rogue. Well, so is the Sludge Belcher. Loatheb is useless at this point. If I had Ysera out or something, I could dream him back and do it again. But since it's still relatively early, and it most likely will always be against Miracle Rogue, Loatheb is now nothing more than a 5/5 body. So, we're going to go to the Dome. I'm looking at Sylvanas here in a Shield Slam, and wondering if I should steal that Auctioneer, and just hit him in the face. But that would give him a turn with the Auctioneer, which is exactly what he was looking for earlier. So I'm going to hit the Auctioneer instead of hitting the face, play patient, play control, Don't try to be the beatdown when you don't have to. And force him to spend mana on things like this Azure Drake here. Blade Fury clears my board. Get a little slime back. And now I have to start looking toward what he plans to do to hit me. He now has no impeding between killing me with his Miracle and his Shadow Step and things of that nature. And he's still high enough in health where I can't threaten him too much. So we are going to have to play control at this point pretty largely. And try to get closer to the end game. Hopefully draw some of our late game legends that we don't have yet. And finish her off that way. The Ghoul again is very good against the Leroy charge with Shadow Step. A backstab isn't going to kill it. But hitting him will kill the Leroy, hitting the Ghoul. But he has a deadly poison, and he has a way to make himself a little less vulnerable. Rag, okay, now we're talking. We've got a late game legend. We can soften him up good. Let's go ahead and pop that Earth and Farseer so that Rag only has a single target. We'll focus that Fireball. 8/8 beat stick with charge. And now the rogue is looking at dying. She really has no choice but to do everything she can at this point to kill Rag or Alpha Strike me, and I am just out of Miracle Rogue reach right now. She's doing some math. She's probably got 2 Shadow Steps and a Leroy in there. And she concedes.